Hey folks, Jim Hart here. I am the founder of Hawthorne Law. This is my first scope, and hopefully you can hear me okay. Today what I wanted to talk about is, and I'm trying to figure out how to use this on the iPad. I'm sorry about that. Um, Today I want to talk about the major benefits to trademarking your brand. If you haven't already trademarked your brand, it's something you should seriously consider. Obviously, I'm an intellectual property attorney, so I'm somewhat biased on this, um, but it's something you definitely should consider and think about doing. There's really four main reasons that I think that you should really consider trademarking your brand if you haven't already. And I'm just going to kind of go through these one at a time. And obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to ask away. I'd be happy to, answer as we go along here. Hey, L.S. Straughter, good to hear you today. So the first real benefit to trademarking your brand is that it creates a hi silly. It creates a legal presumption that you own the brand name. So in other words, if you were to go to court and you were trying to enforce your brand name and you had not trademarked your brand, and somebody else there was saying that maybe they own the brand, and neither of you have registered. And LSR, yes, I would say yes. Typically, that's something you're going to want to do. And so neither one of you had trademarked your brand, then each one of you would have to present evidence. And in federal court, that can get very expensive because that's where trademarks and infringement claims are heard. And but if you did have a registered trademark and somebody was trying to say that they owned it, for example, then by virtue of the fact that you have this legal presumption, that's something that the other person is going to need to overcome. Hi, L. Carey, if I'm saying that right. And so in other words, if neither one of you will present any evidence, the fact that you have a legal presumption by virtue of a registered trademark, then basically what's going to happen is if none of you present any evidence, then you automatically win. So because there's a legal presumption that you are the owner of that trademark. Or if both of you are basically saying you own that trademark, or the other person presents evidence, then they would have to overcome that presumption to show that they would be somebody that is entitled to use that trademark. So that's the first major benefit. And I've gotten a question here, how much does it cost to trademark your brand? A lot of attorneys do this on a flat fee arrangement. That's kind of what I do, is I do it on a flat fee arrangement. You can go to hawthornelaw.net, and I have information there about signing up for my firm's trademark services. So that's, you want to look at that. I mean, obviously there's what a lot of people think, what a lot of entrepreneurs think, and what most people try to do is they end up doing their trademarks on their own. The big problem there is there's a lot of questions on the trademark application. If you mess one of them up, it could be fatal to your application, and you may have to restart over, which means you're basically out the $325 filing fee. So, so you want to make sure you get it done correctly. An attorney can save you a lot of time and heartache there, or headache there. The other thing I will say about trying to file your own trademark application is what typically will happen is you file the application, and then 4, 5, 6 months later, the examining attorney will look at that. If they have a problem, they will issue what's called an office action, which is basically a detailed explanation of why they might be denying your trademark. And to overcome that office action, a lot of people will need to hire a lawyer at that point to write a detailed brief for them. Now, if you messed up something in the application at the very beginning, which I've seen clients do, then you basically, there's no way to overcome that office action, and that's where most trademark applications actually just get abandoned, to be honest. The other major benefit to registering your trademark is the fact that you put the whole world on notice that you are the one that owns that trademark. So if anyone is thinking about using your name, If you haven't trademarked your brand, then they would have to go through a big search to clear that name. A lot of people don't do that, even though we recommend they should. And but if you have a registered trademark, if they go to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office website, they will do a search. Typically, they'll do a search to make sure that the name is clear. And if they find your name, then they're basically put on notice. So when you have that registration, you're automatically telling the whole world that you're the owner of that mark and that nobody else can use it. So that's the second major benefit. The third major benefit is it does, like I said before, it makes it easier to sue somebody for trademark infringement. So again, because of this legal presumption you have a cause of action under what's called the Lanham Act. Now you can go into court and sue somebody under the Lanham Act if you don't have a trademark, but it's much more difficult to do because now all of a sudden you have to prove you basically have to prove to the court that you are the owner of that mark, even though you don't have a federal registration. That could be problematic. But if you do have the federal registration, hi Tichy, then it does make it much easier to go into court and enforce your rights. And so that's going to be the third major benefit, is that you basically can go right into court and you can sue somebody for trademark infringement if that's what they're doing. The fourth major benefit to filing a trademark application is that it becomes a valuable asset for your business. And a trademark is something that, I think a lot of people don't fully understand just how valuable it can be. You can sell a trademark, you can pass it down to your heirs, you can license the rights to that trademark. So if you build a brand that's very valuable and you've trademarked that brand, then you can actually license the rights to use that mark. Think about all these sports franchises. What they've done is, they license the rights to use their logos on, to Nike or Adidas or all these other brands that will use them then. So it actually can become a very lucrative stream of income for you if you have done the proper job, basically building your brand awareness there. So those are the four major reasons that I would say that major benefits to trademarking your brand. So I'll go through those one more time. It creates a legal presumption. It puts the whole world on notice that you're the owner of the brand. It makes it easier to sue somebody in federal court for infringement of your trademark, and it becomes a valuable legal asset for your business. So those are the four major reasons that you should consider trademarking your brand. Make sure to share this. I think you swipe one direction on iPhone, and hi from Russia. Well, hi to you. Здравствуйте. And make sure you swipe up, down, I think on Android, and you can share it there too. So so that's kind of what I have to say. Thank you for listening. To those of you from Russia, спасибо. I'm glad you're here, and yeah, that's all I got for today. This is, like I said, very little bit. No, I took 5 years in high school a long time ago, and got a little bit, and some of it stayed with me, but that's about it. Hey Jake, nice to see you. We're wrapping it up here. Make sure you listen to the replay. Share this with your communities. I would really appreciate that, and hopefully you found some value here. And if you are an entrepreneur, an online entrepreneur, and you need some, and you're thinking about trademarking your brand, then hopefully this is very beneficial to you. I'm going to try and do more of these. This is kind of fun to just get online and talk about legal issues and things that might be helpful to online entrepreneurs. That's the work I do. Hello, Pasha. If there's anything, oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, it's a great country. I've been there. I visited Moscow and St. Petersburg as well. So, way back in the day, in the 90s, 92, 93, I think. So, anyway, I will try and get on more regularly. I hope you have a great day, and that's it for now. Thanks, folks.